So, good morning dear students. Welcome back. Today's class we are going to discuss about the continued concept on human health and diseases. So, here in today's aspects we discussed about the protozoan diseases. Bacterial diseases are completed, viral diseases are completed, then come to next one, fungal diseases are completed. Now today we are going to see about the protozoan diseases. Before that protozoan diseases, we must know about what is these protozoans. Dear students, already we have discussed about the protozoa phylums, where it is coming. So this phylum will be coming under the animal kingdom. In last PUC first year, we know that there are two types of main categories in animals based on the vertebral column. That's be nothing but a notochord. There is the chordata and non-chordata. In the non-chordata, we discussed about the phylums, and in the chordata we discussed about the classes. Non-chordata is nothing but these are almost there is the absence of vertebral columns takes place. So in Kannada we are called it is a kasarekugulu, like that word is there. Okay, so then come here in that non-chordata, the first phylum previously they are going to mentioning as a primitive organism, unicellular organisms. Unicellular meaning is that single-celled organisms. Those celled organisms we are commonly called as a protozoans. In that protozoans, we all know that the best example is that amoeba. As a single-celled organism, amoeba is there, euglena, paramecium, like that examples we are discussed before in school level also and in college level also. Then come in that protozoans, second phylum will be coming under the non-chordata porifera, next Cnidaria, next we call it as a Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes is there, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. Like this type of the phylum we are discussed in previous years in detail. And in chordata, we are having the classes are there. Like your classes as that you must remember as a amphibia, reptilia, next aves, that's we know that birds, and superclass Pisces, and finally we get the mammalia. Like this type of the categories we are discussed in previous classes. In that one, the unicellular category, that's today's class we are discussed about that diseases. What are those almost all pathogens which causes the diseases which are resembles the phylum protozoa? In that, the first pathogen, the first causative agent, that's nothing but a ENTAMOEBA histolytica. Come here, detail we are discussed about this now. ENTAMOEBA histolytica. So ENTAMOEBA it is nothing but a genus, and histolytica it is nothing but a species. So this is commonly we know that anaerobic parasite. It is commonly called as a anaerobic parasite. Then you must remember what is the meaning of parasites. Before anaerobic, we are going to discuss about the parasites. Parasites are nothing but these are the organisms or microorganisms which are responsible for the other host for the purpose of food shelter. In that many types is there. First we must be getting the clear-cut definition about the parasite. Parasites nothing but defending organisms. Those must be, these are not independent, those must be a dependent on other body. Host meaning body. For the purpose of food shelter. And commonly almost all parasites are blood-sucking parasites. What are those? Blood-sucking parasites. Those are also called as a sanguivorous. They are called. So like that you must remember parasites are nothing but organisms which are depend upon the another host for the purpose of food. Nothing but a blood suck and shelter. Shelter means it must be protecting from the other organism by taking that shelter. And in that shelter also, based on the shelter, it's having two varieties, two types. The first one is that ectoparasites and another one is that endoparasite. What is that ecto? E-C-T-O. Ectoparasite, nothing but those parasites which are present outside the body of organisms. Outside the body means in the head, on the attachment of the skin, like that. Those parasites which are present outside the body of organisms are called ectoparasites. Same, those parasites which are present inside the body of organisms. Inside mean where they are having a one location, that is location is that intestinal regions or rectum regions or abdominal regions. In those areas, if the parasites are present, those are called as endoparasites. Ectoparasites, endoparasites. Like that examples, many examples are there. For ectoparasites, you can take as a best example leech, and best example lice, body lices. We are going to, and ticks, which are soft ticks and hard ticks, which are present on the buffaloes. Like this, many examples which are suck the blood from the outside the body. Some are suck the blood from inside the body. So like this, different is there. So best example, these are the, in that there is the one endoparasite is there. That endoparasite we call as ENTAMOEBA histolytica. So this is the anaerobic parasite. Anaerobic meaning absence of oxygen, meaning it's also living in the condition of absence of oxygen. Aerobic means presence of oxygen. Okay, then come next. So it is present in large intestine. See the structure how it is. It is very minute. It's a micro. It's having this type of the structure, and this is we call it as a nucleus. And this is, you must remember, as the endosome layers. Say epidermal. The epidermal layers are endosome layers or nucleus. Like that, the outermost, innermost layers, and there is a presence of central part, nucleus is there. This is, it is present in large intestine. This is the location, store, place of the ENTAMOEBA histolytica. And it causes, what is that disease? This is the very important. It causes amoebiasis. Amoebiasis, the another meaning is that amoebic dysentery. Almost all children's, adults also suffering, but children's also suffering more about these ones because it is a round one. And one thing is that it causes the amoebic dysentery. The yellow fluid mucus-like structure will going to takes place outside, excreted from the body. That's we call it as a amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. Then come next, how it will be transferred. That's we know that method of transmission. It will be transmitted. I already discussed about the some. There is the mechanical carriers are there. Those mechanical carriers act like as an vectors. How they are act like as an vectors? They are almost all transmit the pathogens or causative agents or sporozoite stage which are present in other material, other body, from that body to another body. Then the another body is going to get the infected. This type of transmission is going to take place by the some organism. That organism basically they are called as a housefly. Housefly is there, mosquitoes are there. These are act like as an mechanical carriers. See, the housefly acts as mechanical carriers and serve to transmit the parasites which are present in feces of infected person. Then come to here new word that is called as a feces. What is this feces? Feces meaning is that waste material. That's nothing but a excreted part, waste material of infected person to the food and food products and gets the contaminated. See, dear students, how much we must be protecting, how much we must be hygienic. Must be keep clean everything, not only our body. We must be clean our home also, surroundings also, kitchen rooms also, utensils also. Because in every home there is this type of the mechanical carrier is present. You know about that one. That's nothing but a housefly. How much dangerous it is. What it transmits? It transmits the parasites from the infected person, the feces of infected person to the food, and gets contaminated. When we are going to ingest it or eating that type of the food, automatically that parasite enter into our body. Then we are suffering from which type of the disease? That disease is called amoebiasis. Amoebiasis meaning is that amoebic dysentery. Then come here, what are those symptoms? After that, parasite enter into our body. Where it will be stored? It will be stored in large intestine. Then we are have the symptoms. We are getting the diseases. What is that disease? First, obviously you must remember what is that. Slowly abdominal pain will be occurs. Abdominal pain. Pain will go into occurs continuously. That's we call it as stomach pains. Next, constipation. Constipation meaning in Kerala we call it as a malabaddhate. Constipation, almost the mucus like structure or blood will go into releasing from the body. That will completely become a constipation. It will be hard. Next, here they are given stool with excess mucus and blood. Stool with, that's waste material which is excreted from the body. That stool will having a excess the yellow colored liquid mucus part, and then next one is that the blood. Both will be going to releasing from the body. If it is going on continuously means it become more fatal, critical condition. Fatal meaning is that danger, must be remembered. And finally we are going to get the diarrhea. Diarrhea meaning is that the atisara. So continuous excreting is going on. That's we call it as a dysentery. So that's why you must remember, dear student, how we are getting this type of the groundwork into our body. This is the way we know that ENTAMOEBA histolytica also a very dangerous aspects. This is the one type of the anaerobic parasite, and you must remember which type of the disease it causes. It causes the amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is the major disease caused by ENTAMOEBA histolytica. In the examination, they are going to ask, name the disease caused by ENTAMOEBA. Name the disease caused by ENTAMOEBA histolytica. That disease name, if you write amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery, both are correct. So you get the points about the ENTAMOEBA histolytica. Then come to the second parasite. That parasite is nothing but ASCARIS lumbricoids. What is that? ASCARIS lumbricoids. ASCARIS lumbricoids. So it is commonly called as a nematode. Nematode meaning is that roundworm. That you studied the phylum Nemathelminthus, or it's also called as a Ascalmenthes. So in that the best species, that's we know that ASCARIS lumbricoids. This ASCARIS lumbricoids, it is a almost all having a sexual dimorphism condition. Sexual dimorphism condition. What is this sexual dimorphism condition? Sexual dimorphism meaning is that the identification of the sex of the individual by externally. The identification of sex of an individual by externally. Sex of an individual is nothing but a male and female. How you identify in the species like parasites? It must be a externally way. That's we call it as a sexual. Di meaning to, morphism means face, external face. Why I am going to say this word means, in this there is the both the species are there. One male species, another one is that female species, and the male species is almost a smaller species, and the female one is became as a largest. So this species is called as a female and this is called as a male. Just see here. So smaller one is called as a male species and female is so larger one. Female is bigger than the male individuals. That's why it shows as a external pictures only we can identify the sex of the individuals, and this mechanism is called sexual dimorphism. And another one word is that these parasites almost are digenic in condition. There are two conditions are there, monogenic and digenic. Monogenic means the parasites if completes their life cycle in a one host, one body, those are called as a monogenetic or monogenic. Opposite of that one, if parasites are completes their life cycle in two hosts. How it is two hosts? I just told you, one host from the mosquitoes, another host as a human beings. You know that in mosquito body also parasites are enter, and those parasites will be enter into the human body by biting of that infected mosquito. Like that examples parasites we call as a digenetic conditions. So this is the way you must remember, almost all parasites are digenetic condition. In that this parasite also, which one? ASCARIS lumbricoides. It is commonly called as a roundworm. It is a large roundworm and it is grow up to the length of 35 centimeter. In Kannada commonly called as a jantula anta kariತೀವಿ. So you must remember jantula ಆಗಿದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. So after that type of the causes will be going to take place by this one. What is that? ASCARIS lumbricoides. That's where it is present. It is present in intestinal region. Same where that one, that colon region, intestinal regions also it will be habituated, and it causes the disease. This is very important. One more process these are must be remember. It causes the disease ascariasis. Ascariasis, it is a disease caused by pathogen ASCARIS lumbricoides. Must remember ASCARIS, ascariasis. Next, infection through contaminated water, vegetable, fruits, etc. Same aspects. It's also going to infect it. That's why, dear students, when we going to take a vegetables, we must be clean with warm water, hot water, or salt water. Those vegetables which are borrowing from the market, you must be clean with the salt water. It is good for. In that salt water, if you clean twice or thrice, then these parasites is going to die. So after that, you can make it as anything, then no problem. That time it cannot be contaminated. That's way how the infection, how the method of transmission, infection through contaminated water, vegetables, fruits, etc. Through that contamination takes place. And next aspect we know that symptoms. What are those symptoms are there when we are getting the ASCARIS type of the disease? First one, intestinal bleeding. Yeah, in the intestinal region they are going to start the infection. When the infection is going on, it must be bleeding, leak out, lysis will be takes place. Next one is that muscle pains. Muscular pain meaning is that muscles going to get the pains. Cramps will be takes place. Fever, slightly body temperature increases. Anemia. What is that? Anemia. Anemia is a condition of deficiency of hemoglobin. How that hemoglobin deficiency takes place? Slowly the blood is going to leak out from the body. If the blood condition will become as it decreases, then we are suffering from the deficiency of hemoglobin. That hemoglobin deficiency disease is called as a anemia. Next one is that blockage of intestinal passage. The intestinal passage completely become blocked. there is no excreted material will be going to takes place. Then we are getting the severe problems that times, because if stool is not going outside means then it become causes the constipation also. And finally we get the nausea. Nausea nothing but a vomiting sensation, ವಾಕರಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. That type of the sensation is going to continuous, because that stool blockage of the intestine takes place. The food is not moving from the intestine to large intestine, small intestine to large intestine, to the rectum, to the colon region, like that, ileums, and finally it will be reaches to the rectum partner. So that's why it not going on because of the blockage. Due to these reasons, we are suffering from these type of the parasites if they are affected, if they are present in our body more than most. So dear students, you must be remember how these parasites are enter, in what way they are enter, where these are present. So if they are enter, which type of the disease we are going to get, we must be remember. So today's class we going to discuss about the two, already discussed what are those two parasites. One is that protozoan parasite like ENTAMOEBA histolytica, it causes the disease. What is that? Amoebic dysentery or amoebiasis. And second one is that ASCARIS lumbricoides, it causes the disease. What is this? Ascariasis. But what is the location of both? Both location is same in the intestinal regions, as the large intestine and small intestinal regions, you must remember. And some more pathogens are there, parasites are there, like that Vacheria bancrofti and malarial parasite also is there. So that will be discussed in next videos. Okay dear students, are you get today's points? Okay, thank you.